All right, peeps, so we're going to be talking about today are one-step equation models. There's two different types of models you're going to see. These two types of models here are multiplication models, and then later in the video I'm going to show you guys some examples from addition models. So y'all, the hardest part about this is really just taking the equation out of the picture, because once you have the equation, we're just doing one-step equations like we've been practicing for the last week or so. Looking at this first problem here, I have a 28 up top, and I have two g's. So a couple ways to write this equation. Let me get myself a marker. Good morning. A couple ways to write this. I start off with my variables. I have two g's together, which means this is going to be a multiplication model. I have 2 times g. If you look, these two g's are the same distance as this 28. So 2 times g equals 28. To solve this model, you do the opposite operation like we've been practicing. The opposite of times 2 would be to divide by 2, and you divide by 2 on both sides. So these would cancel here. I get just g is equal to 28 divided by 2, which is 14. So the answer to this problem, or the answer to this model, is g equals 14. So looking at my second model here, this one's a little bit harder to see because it's in green, but if you look, I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 f's that cover the same distance as 192. 4 f's equals 192. So a couple ways you can write that. You can write it, this is 4 and f, because like we learned before, that actually does mean 4 times f equals 192, or you can write it out as 4 times f equals 192. Either way is acceptable. To solve this, I need to divide by 4 on both sides, which means I need to do 192 divided by 4 to get my answer. So f, sorry if you can't see that, f equals 48. So y'all, a quick tip to remember: when it's a multiplication model, you're going to see the same number, the same variable multiple times. 4 f's, here I have 2 g's. That's how you could tell it's multiplication compared to the one I'm about to show you, which is the addition model. All right, so the last two I'm going to talk about are called the addition models. Addition models look a little bit more confusing because you have a variable, a number that's actually added to the variable, and then your total is normally at the bottom, which is the bigger number box. Sometimes people get confused and think it's h and 35, but really, if you look, the h and the 16 are the same distance as 35. So this problem here is h plus 16 equals 35. To solve that, you do the opposite of plus 16, which means you should be subtracting 16 on both sides. So h equals 19 would be your value there. The original equation, though, was h plus 16 equals 35. Same thing on here. This one's actually set up vertically, though, but if you look, w and 22 are the same distance as 64. So my equation is w plus 22 equals 64. To solve that, I'm going to subtract 22 on both sides. So I'll have w by itself over there equals whatever 64 minus 22 is, which is 42. So w equals 42. And like y'all, just like we talked about before, you can always check your answers by plugging your value back into your equation. That works for every single time we do these algebra one-step equations. Y'all, if you have a question, please send me a message. Y'all, this shouldn't be too bad. People online, you guys are going to be working through models like this for the entire period. Thanks, guys.